So welcome to the workshop. It's a fine Sunday evening. It's fairly pleasant out there. The neighbours are having a bonfire and the housemates are demolishing a bottle of wine. So I find myself out in the workshop today with a tinny. So good on you, sport, as they would say down under. But before we get going, the normal parish notices. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and want to, hit that subscribe icon. If you want to be notified when I publish new content to the channel, hit the bell icon. If you want to support the channel and the videos that I make, head over to Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/themusictechguy. The address will be down there somewhere. And in this heightened time of COVID-19, wash the hands, stay at home, stay safe. So, as I said, in the workshop, and I'm doing something which I thought I'd do this as the rant this week, not because it's a rant, because this sort of actually is good practice now. Now, the problem we have is that these little things are becoming quite scarce, especially the ones that are double-sided, double density. Okay, so these are the disk drives you would use on things like the Roland S330, the Ensoniq ESQ EPS 16 Plus, the Roland S50, the DX7 Mark II FD, all those synthesizers and modules and of a certain age, MPC for argument's sake, will probably use this sort of media as storage. Yes, you can use SysX before people shout at me, but a lot of it is this sort of media, and it's becoming quite scarce. And as you know, one of the things I've been very keen on is getting the disk media library up and running, which will offer you guys and anybody else who wants it, replacement media for media that has failed. Now, you've got to remember, these things are getting quite old now. So I've managed to tap into a couple of suppliers of discs. Now, one of those suppliers of discs is supplying me with discs that have been used. So they have old labels on them in various states of being ripped off, as you can see. But the discs are still perfectly serviceable. So they've got the labels on them. You want to get rid of the labels. And I've also managed to tap into a supply of new discs for double-sided double density and double-sided high density. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to offer two different types of service for media replacement. The first media replacement service is going to be on a brand new disc. Now, brand new discs carry a premium, hence the reason why I'm charging a little bit more for them. And if you think I'm making a profit on this, think again, I'm not making any profit on it. It's not a profit-making organization. It really is to help you guys out there who have acquired an old synthesizer that requires old discs to be able to get hold of these sound libraries. So I'm really trying to just protect the sound library and make sure. Now, there are people out there that are selling these things on CDs, but you've got to get them off the CD. And, you know, I'm not being funny, but the last two computers I've bought don't have CD players anymore, so you have to go and buy an external CD player. Yes, I know. I mean, a few years ago, you know, trying to get a computer with a CD player because they were brand new was a problem. Now you can't get a CD player because it's now old hat, and everybody is streaming. But going back to where I was, so what you want to do is you want to be able to replace the media. So as I said, one of the options is brand new media. The other option I'm going to offer is recycled media. Now, recycled media are slightly cheaper because I can buy them I can buy them cheaper. So I've just passed the cost on. So they work out about £1 a disc cheaper than brand new media. So it's entirely up to you which media you want, really. You either take brand new media or you take recycled media, and you pay the relevant cost. Now, in order to recycle the media, so first thing I have to do is get hold of the discs, which I do, and then after I've delabeled them, they come out looking like that, and then they will go into a machine and they will have the appropriate stuff copied onto them. Now, what I copy onto them is dependent on what you guys order from me. So what I'm going to do in the end of this video is I've actually put some of these media replacement discs up on eBay to see if there's any interest. But if you want anything, and I will sort of carry on putting different media types up on eBay just to see if there's any takers. And I'll do it every now and then, so you should be able to see it. But I'm going to put some of these links up on eBay, so I'll put the links down below, so you can order new or recycled media from me, and they are priced appropriately. But where I started with this about 4 minutes ago was to say you've got to take the labels off. And this is kind of what this is all about. This is the delabeling factory today. Now, I haven't got the camera up there, so you're just going to have to sort of look at this. But typically, what happens is the label will leave either some sticky stuff like that. Now, that's been on and soaking for a bit. And that and this stuff actually smells foul. But the labels just come off like so, and they go in the bin bag like that, and you just pull them off like that, and then you give the disc a clean. Now, this is not the final stage of the cleaning process. This is just getting the delabeling gunk off the disc like so. So there you have a nice clean disc like so. Then what we do is we go and get the isopropyl alcohol, because what we need to do is we need to make sure the disc is now clean, and this delabeling gunk I've got, which is this stuff here, works much better than WD-40, I might add, considerably better than WD-40. And thank you for one of the tubing community who put me onto this stuff, because I was trying to use WD-40 for this exercise a little while back, and I found this stuff works better. So the alcohol goes on like so. Take the disc over here. And there you have a nice clean disc. That's now ready to be recycled. So I'll put that down there. Now, some of these said discs are a bit more of a pain in the rump, and therefore they have labels. So I'm going to just pick this one here, like so, like that. Okay, and hopefully with a bit of luck, because I'm doing this to camera, the label is just going to peel nearly off nice and neatly. So it's come off one side like that, but it's left a bit of residue on the back there. Now I should just be able to, yeah, scrape that off like so, and then like so. Like that. Now I will do the isopropyl alcohol thing in a minute off camera. I'm not going to do that twice, but there you go. Another nice shiny disc that just needs to be wiped over like so. Now, that's all right for the old computer style labels, and by old style computer labels, I'm talking about this sort of stuff. So the label wraps over the edge and along the back there with the old white protect bits on it. Now these are not particularly sticky. They are sticky, but they won't just peel off, unfortunately. That's they've been on there for far too long. And one of the things I've learned about this sort of stuff is if the label has been on there for not a very long period of time, then the label tends to come off fairly easily. Now, the labels on these were, I think, Amiga discs originally, so double density, double-sided Amiga discs. And because of that, they have been on quite a long time. So that's the reason why I've had to go down the route of using the spray gunk to get these off. Now, the reason why it looks like they're all in pockets is actually very simple. When you apply this stuff, and you apply this stuff by spraying it onto the disc surface, what I don't want is I don't want it to be to apply to this area here. So the reason why it's in sort of like a kitchen towel cocoon is effectively that when I spray this stuff on, it doesn't go into this area here. It just hits the label area, and therefore once I start to do that, the labels will just come off, and I haven't got any gunk, hopefully, getting onto the surface of the media. Now, if gunk does get on the surface of the media, potentially it's going to ruin the disc. So I'm just being very, very careful about that. So let me just clean that one, because it's been done. Like so. Just like that. And another one. It's got something on it. Let's have a quick. The great stuff about this label cleaner is it takes everything off. Not just the label, but if there's any writing or anyone's put any pen or ink on it, takes that off as well. It's very, very good stuff. So that's label cleaning the Music Tech Guy UK way. So anyone wants to ask me about media that I have in the library for currently the S50, the TX16W, the T1, my favourite, the T1, which is actually there now. Hasn't made it into the house because I've got to sneak it in past the housemates. But don't tell them. Mind you, having said that, if they've demolished a bottle of wine lighter, they won't mind. So what was I saying? T1, the TX16W, the S50, the S330, the S550, the Ensoniq S16, and I've got some S85 media as well. So I'm starting to get a number of media bits available. The M1 media also includes, sorry, not the M1, the T1 media includes a number of discs from the work disc sections, and there is somebody else on eBay selling these things. But I can tell you now that what he is selling is the original media. Sorry, it is the original sounds. It is on recycled media, and he's charging a premium price for it. So, and I've know people have bought off him and have had dead discs. So just beware. I guarantee that every disc that leaves here as part of the media replacement service will be checked before it goes. So on that, it is Sunday evening. I'm going to finish up this batch of discs, and then I'm going to have some Sunday dinner. So live long and prosper, guys. See you next time.